Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the broadcast today. Today is Monday, May the 4th, in the year of our Lord, 2020. And it is a wonderful day to be here and, of course, to be alive. A wonderful day in the history of the Amazonian Revolution. It's a pleasure to have you on board. I want to believe that you had a wonderful, exciting weekend. I'd like to greet you on ground zero, especially, and those of you on ground one, I want to say thank you for joining the broadcast too. I hope you all are doing well out there and staying away and staying safe from the coronavirus. This is going to be one of those exciting broadcasts that I bring to you. I want you, for those of you on the social media, to go ahead right now, hit your share button as quickly as you can. Let us populate the platform. Let us populate the platform. Very interesting, ladies and gentlemen, what I bring to you today. So please go ahead, hit your share button, invite everyone out there. Tell them the anchor man is here, and he is not live, he is alive. Hello? All right. Stay on the line, okay? Stay on the line. Don't drop the phone. Just stay on the line for a while. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, good evening and welcome to Amber TV, Amber Television, from all of sub-Saharan Africa to Canada, to Asia, to the European Union, including the United Kingdom, and of course onto the continental USA and Latin, all of Latin America. I got important subjects to bring to you, to share with you, discuss with you today. And I consider that the state of the revolution. And before I move on, I just want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, the state of the revolution cannot be stronger. It cannot be stronger. So please, for those of you joining by way of Facebook, go ahead and hit your share button. If you are watching on YouTube, please, you do the same. And as you do so, let me see those of you who have joined already. Let me see those of you who have joined already. So please go ahead, quickly hit your share button. The moment we have 700 people on this Facebook platform, I will come to you with the presentation of the day. And I have a very special guest that I shall be bringing to you in the latter part of this broadcast. I am talking about the President of the Federal Republic, Dr. Samuel Ikome-Sako. He will be joining me here to say a word or two to Ambazonia for the feat you put out there yesterday. So please hit your share button and bring in, and also of course Barrister Fru Johnson will be joining me in the early part of the broadcast. But before I get to them, I'm going to have also a correspondent from Ground Zero who shall be updating all of us on what is happening in Kugwe. And of course, we learn of an attack today in Guzang, we shall be hearing from a correspondent on Ground Zero giving us updates as to what is happening in those two communities. And then I shall also be speaking about the fourth attempt, the botched attempt, ladies and gentlemen, to end ghost towns in the city of Bamenda by one unelected mayor posing as a mayor of Bamenda 2. We will talk about that. And listen, this is breaking news that I bring to you. I have a footage coming out of Bafut that I believe none of you have seen that footage. La République du Cameroon was dealt a death blow in Bafut last Friday. They were killed in their numbers, and I have express footage that you will only see on ABC. I'll be bringing you that footage when La République du Cameroon says, or one Ground Zero to believe they are winning the war, they are losing. I mean losing. They are losing, and they haven't seen anything yet. I will bring you that extra, exclusive footage. So please get me there quickly. Go ahead, hit your share button. I think we're having over 680 right now. So please, let's make it 700 to quicken my coming. All right. So let's do that. Let me see who is joining here. I see a lot of clappings here on the social media. We are past 700 already. Wonderful. Keep on hitting your share button, ladies and gentlemen. I see Gladys Azar, Julius Inji, said Bafut, oh yeah. Yes, Afu, the veteran on this platform. Thank you, sir. I also see Teneben Kumben. I see you, sir. Alphonse Njukang. I see you. Ivan. I say Deadliest Blue. Thank you, sir. Samuel Etoy, watching from where? Watching with you, okay. Ochiba Achundo, see you. Chungong Sane, Mo Manu, Amber Love, Eve Chike, Stanley Matthew, footage found only on ABC TV. Ambazonians, wake up! He has said it again. Absolutely, absolutely. Footage found only here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. In the coming months, within 2 months, ABC's news department will be up and running Ambazonian and world news on a daily basis. On a daily basis. In fact, at the top of every hour, ABC shall be presenting both domestic and world news. That's probably we are looking at the month of June. That is some good news for all of you, especially those of you on Ground Zero who are tuned, who are glued on ABC, having to watch the foreign channels that we bring to you. But I can assure you, things go as being planned in June. By end of June, we will have an ABC news desk that brings you news as it happens. News as it happens from Ground Zero. That is it. Okay. I see also J.B. Tanyi. Greetings, our able secretary. Patricia Ngong, I see you. We love you, Bafut, she says. I see also Mbo Lexus. I see also Dorothy Ngwa. Okay. The one and only Neighbor Steve. Ladies and gentlemen, for all of you out there, I want you to put on your screen hashtag Neighbor Steve. That is a man whose pen runs and laughs. Did you hear me? His pen runs and laughs. He is one of those with a pen out there that even the enablers and the detractors cannot put it down. He does an incredible job. I don't know what time he spends to sleep, but he is out there writing again and again. He's not one of those who put out audios, but I'm telling you, his pen is as loud as any audio that you will hear out there. Hashtag, we thank you, Neighbor Steve. All right, Abanda Sunday Mokoli, thank you for joining. At Succeed, always here, another veteran on this platform. Daddy Cooper, another veteran here. Otello General, another veteran here. Pius Itube, I see you. Gary House, I see you, sir. Says, I am hashtag barefoot. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Acom Fidelis, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, I cannot read every name. I cannot read every name, but I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for joining the broadcast today. Continue to hit your share button as the broadcast goes on. Before I bring in my correspondent from Ground Zero, I just want to remind all of you members of ABC Amber Club, members of ABC Amber Club. By the way, so many of you out there have registered for ABC Amber Club, but you are not yet in the club itself, the WhatsApp club itself. If you have registered, if you are a registered paying member of ABC Amber Club, and you are not yet in the forum, WhatsApp ABC forum, please let me know. Send me a text message or send an email at info@abcambertv.com, and we will get your information. But you can also WhatsApp me that message, and we will include you in the Amber Forum, because that is very, very important. We are having our second club meeting this Saturday, this coming Saturday, and I hope that the club members are excited up there about that meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, I really honestly want to say I have not seen an exciting forum with everybody upbeat like the ABC Amber Club forum. Everybody wants to see something, want to do something. They want to see ABC get to the next level. That is what I have witnessed in that club. The enthusiasm is contagious. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We need 2,000 Amber Club members, and you only need to chip in $5. If you can do more, you can do $10, $20, $100, what amount, whatever you are able to afford. Please get to the website www.abcambertv.org, abcambertv.org. Just click on the banner on the top right hand of that website and sign in to become a member of ABC Club. All right, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I will not keep you any longer. I like to get to Ground Zero, where something is going on. Something is going on in the Kugwe. In the past 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, we have been talking about Kugwe. And today I like to bring you some important updates about what is happening in Kugwe. This is very, very important, because we have the enemy. We have an enemy who is trying to fight with us. Who is trying to fight against us and not fight with us. And he continued to issue threats. The last time he came up on the air and threatened to cut people's heads and hang them on sticks. And we thought that was enough. It appears not to be enough. Now we learned that today, there was an attack in Guzang. Guzang is probably just a few miles away from Kugwe, because they are in the same local government area. Now they are attacking in Guzang today. They attacked in Kugwe the other day. And after the attack in Kugwe, where they destroyed the power station, they went to the farms and attacked people, took away 15 children. Those children, as I speak, they have not been returned. Their whereabouts remain unknown. And after that attack on the kids, they now send an ultimatum to the community, threatening them and threatening the chiefs asking if they do not allow their boys to return and host a camp in that community, they are coming to attack the community. I guess they have succeeded to do what they promised by going to Guzang today to attack that community. I have with me online somebody who is following up these developments in Kugwe, and he will be able to tell us what he knows about the attacks in Guzang today. I have Martin with me on the line. He is joining me from Abakwa. Hello, Martin.
Hello?
Hello, yes, Martin, can you hear me, please?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Can you get your voice, your mouth a little closer to your microphone so we can hear you a little bit louder, please?
Yes, this is Martin calling from Kugwe.
Thank you. Tell us, first, let's start with Guzang. We'll learn of an attack in Guzang today. What do you know about it?
Yeah, I learned that there was an attack in Guzang, but I don't really have more details about it.
All right. Tell us, how far is Guzang from Kugwe?
I can say Guzang to Kugwe is about 15 kilometers.
About 15 kilometers. Okay. So, you don't know so much about what happened there today. We understand there was an attack there today. Since we don't have the details, we will spare that because we don't want you to give us information that is not accurate. So, tell us, since the first two attacks in Kugwe, there was an ultimatum that was given to the people of Kugwe, the community in Kugwe, by these rooks who attacked Kugwe, destroyed the electric plant, and killed the prince and other indigents, and took away children. Have those children been returned?
You for your marvelous job that you have been doing, and I want to elaborate some falling atrocity caused by this gang robbery called ADF. I will enumerate numerous of series of atrocity. They have been living in Kugwe for more than 4 years, and Kugwe have been living in havoc, living in panic, living under threat. So, the following thing that they have been doing, they rape children. There is no one single girl of 12 years above that they have not raped. Then force women.
Okay.
They pass an order.
No, but hold on there. The rapes you are referring to took place before they were chased out of that community. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So we want to know what is going on at the moment. Have the 15 children they abducted, have they been returned to Kugwe?
Secretary Chris, really they have returned only one child, and from that there were about almost numerous of people that was wounded. There are still some at the hospital. Within that time that the prince were killed.
Okay, so
numerous of children kidnapped.
So out of now, yes, I can hear you. We understand that about 15 children within the ages of 5 to 15 were abducted. So you are saying that only one has returned?
Yes, sir.
And how did the one return? Did he or did she just walk home, or they brought her or they brought him? How did he return?
They have to send one to somebody to come and give us that we cannot really, not really expose the person. So they send only for somebody to come and return it, sir.
And what did they, when they sent the person to bring this one, what did they say about the orders?
They keep on repeating and making statement to us that if we don't comply with them, if we don't apologize to them, if we don't allow them to come and settle in Kugwe, they have to enter Kugwe, and they give ultimatum in 2 days and burn everything to dust. That will burn human being and all the properties after all the destruction that they have done.
And when did they make this ultimatum?
They wrote a letter and sent to Kugwe.
So are the 2 days now over, or the 2 days are yet to be over?
The 2 days are over.
When were they over?
The 2 days are already over, sir.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
so what is going on at the moment in Kugwe? What are the people thinking? What are they saying? Are they running to the bushes, or what is going on? Paint a picture for us.
Yes, at the moment now in Kugwe, the village is totally empty. So many people have left the village to bushes, and some has traveled to southwest before they come to Bamenda, and there is a gateway to that lead from Efa to Kugwe. They do see that nothing pass to Kugwe. No anybody of Kugwe should be seen passing through Efa. So that's the gateway. So the only way Kugwe people can use to escape, they pass through bushes, pass through forest. Some are went to southwest, some are went to other destinations that we cannot even know. Some are even missing up to date. Some are sick somewhere in the forest, sir.
How about the chief who was initially threatened that his head was going to be cut and others? Has he too left the village?
Sir, I can really make you know. We cannot really know the destination of any now. The few that we happen to discover them in town, they are there. We don't even, my own brother, we don't know where they are right now. Even the chief, we don't know where they are.
Now, how about the restoration forces in that area? Where are they? What are they doing? Because I understand, I mean, but what is, tell me this, explain this to me first. What is the difference between Batibo and Kugwe?
Yeah, Kugwe is a village under Batibo subdivision.
Okay.
In Momo.
The Batibo local, Mogamo, right? Mogamo local government, you mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we have quite a number of restoration fighters in Batibo. Where are they, and what are they doing that everybody in Kugwe is packing out, and we are not hearing anything about them? You are not the expert here, but for just information purposes, what are you hearing?
Yes, sir, that is a question that everybody is asking. That Kugwe has taken the measure to show that they have to send this guy out of Kugwe, but nobody, we have not seen the consent. So it's only one of our fighter that they came, one of the team that came and made only 1 day and returned. Since then to now, we don't know what to do, sir. Everybody is in total confusion and panic. So since they left, they never came back, sir.
Now, these Rook fighters, these so-called Rook fighters, I call them losers, who were chased out of Kugwe, it appears to me they are still lurking somewhere in that same vicinity in the communities of Kugwe, Guzang, Batibo as a whole. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So they have essentially not gone anywhere.
Yes, I learned that they are loitering somewhere around AY, then Ashon.
Okay.
Those are some villages under.
Hello?
Yeah.
I think you are breaking up.
No, I'm still there, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, you were trying to say they are loitering where?
They are loitering around AY.
That's another nearby village or what?
Yeah, Ashong village and AY village.
All right. Is there anything other than the things we have discussed that you would love us to know before I let you go?
Yes, sir. But one thing that I want to let you know is that these Kugwe people who have surrendered their life, and there are some few of they are only uncountable. So right now, like this, they cannot move. They cannot go north or south. They are at the same place, and they are on panic, living under tension. They don't know what this guy will surely come and do to the village, sir. So now we total in big confusion. Total confusion and in stress. You will really discover that everybody, when you see a man from Kugu, you discover that the man has been sick for 1 month or for 2 months without eating. They are pale up, dry, and looking very pale, sir.
Because they all live in the bushes since.
Yes, sir.
What happened to the power plant? Was it were some repairs carried out on it, or is still dead?
No, the power plant has been totally burned to ashes. Then there is no way for somebody to go and take any particular attention. Everybody has been leaving the village and living under panic. Nobody to even go and take the detailed report of that solar powerhouse that has been totally diminished down, burned by the fire, by this gang. So it was involved with batteries, generator, and controller, all the like. But there's no way for somebody to even go there and take the details of what have been destroyed, sir.
All right, Martin, thank you for your report. Thank you for being brave enough to gather this for us. We shall be getting back to you in subsequent programs to give us updates on this, okay? You remain strong and remain safe.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you got that. Piece of information. I hope that the National Security Defense Council of Ambazonia, they are hearing this, and I hope in particular that Mogamo, LGA, and Momo County as a whole, they are hearing this. I think the moment has come to do a cleansing of that community, to get rid of anything in that community, everything, and I mean everything in that community that constitute a threat and a danger to the lives of the people of Kugwe, of Guzang, and all those smaller communities in that area. Again, we can never say this enough. We will confront anything that stands on the way of this revolution, especially when that way has to be the people on ground zero. We will not continue to allow them to treat our own people as if they are the enemies. Our own people are not the enemies. They should not be the enemies, and anybody going after our own people, they are the enemies. And again, I hope that the people in Mogamo, they are hearing this, and the people in Momo County, they are hearing this. They should do what they ought to do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, I am going to take a short commercial break out. And when I come back, remember, I have the President of the Republic, Dr. Samuel Ekomeseko, who shall be joining me. I also have joining me on the set, Barrister John Frunso. So please, do not touch your remote, ladies and gentlemen. Stay put. I'll be right back.
You need a financial instrument that provides a hedge against inflation, 100% guarantees that you will not lose your money, has tax-free growth and distribution, the ability to take an interest-free loan, avoids probate, provides creditor protection, guarantees your family that your income will be replaced should you die, helps you protect yourself financially against chronic, critical, and terminal illness, and of course allows you to take money anytime for any reason at any age without a tax penalty. You need only as little as $50 to invest per month. Contact Irene Fombo, tel 513-5014-177 or send an email to irenenpmsn@gmail.com.
Start a new career as a Linux system administrator with an average salary of $80,000 to $120,000 a year. Dynamic Tech Academy has transformed many lives for the better through our 6-month Linux program. We are so excited to announce that we are adding DevOps course and Red Hat certification at no charge, which will make students more competitive. Over 80% of our students have no prior IT background, yet vast majority of alumni land jobs in 3 to 6 months after they start applying. Our ultimate goal is to reach 100% student employment, so we work with every student until he or she gets a job. Upon successful completion of the course, we will provide resume building, interview preparation, and job placement assistance. With the Linux course, you get more than 300 hours of in-depth training, and you get to learn from experienced instructors. By the end of the program, our students can be Red Hat certified if they choose. Our alumni work in companies, both government and private companies in the USA, Canada, and even Europe. Want to learn more about the program? You can contact us at info@dynamicdmv.com, or you can call us at 240-604-9505, or you can call us at 240-423-7865. And you can also visit us at www.dynamictechdmv.com. If you are interested in online classes, please register on our website. That's once again www.dynamictechdmv.com. Start.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it's a pleasure to be with you today. I am here joined by Barrister John Fru Insot, who will be discussing with me some of the issues that I just brought to you, especially that of Guzang, that of Kugwe, and we shall also be discussing Bamenda and all that the regime in that city is trying to do to end the ghost towns in Bamenda. Barrister John, once more, it's a privilege to have you, sir.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful. Tell me, you just listened to my conversation with that correspondent in Kugwe talking about what is going on there. What is your take on the situation in Kugwe? Because it doesn't look good to me. It doesn't look good, especially when that community has been attacked again and again and again. The people are still in pain. They don't know where their children are. We are talking about children within the ages of 5 to 15. What is your take?
Chris, I was very disheartened when I heard that report. And the first thing that came to mind is, where is Chairman Jackson of Momo? He was supposed to have taken charge of what is happening in Kugwe and send our restoration forces a backup, even from Bali, even from other neighboring restoration forces, to get those criminals out of Kugwe and out of Ashong and out of Ange, and where the correspondent who said they were. If we don't get those people out of there, our people will perish in Kugwe, and that is not good for us. The ADF is a cancer planted and nourished by La Republic of Cameroon in our territory. We have to start realizing that that is a very dangerous force embedded by La Republic of Cameroon and encouraged by La Republic of Cameroon. We must do something about it. Chris, just before I got into this studio, I had a report from Guzang that is troubling.
Yeah, tell me what you learned, because I learned about it, but I didn't get the details of it because I was preparing for this broadcast.
The details is that La Republic of Cameroon attacked Guzang market. The military of La Republic of Cameroon, and they were overpowered by the restoration forces. So they withdrew. As they withdrew, 15 ADF forces entered Guzang with motorcycles, and they have been battling the restoration forces up to now as we speak. That is the report I'm getting.
So instead of going into Guzang to join hands with the restoration forces to battle French Cameroon terrorist forces, these losers went in to fight against our own brothers, our own legitimate forces. That's what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, Chris. As we speak, 15 ADF forces on motorbikes. As soon as La Republic withdrew, they entered Guzang.
Is it possible that La Republic came back in and fought side by side with them?
That is what I don't know, but that is the report I got before I came here. And that was this morning, and the fighting is still going on. So you can see that ADF and La Republic are one and the same thing.
Do we now have any idea about any casualties or injured?
Not yet, Chris. I'm calling on Chairman Jackson, wherever he is, to immediately dispatch the Momo Marines, which are very effective, and all the other forces for a backup into Kugwe to clean that area of these criminals.
Right. That is the question everybody is asking. You have the Momo Marines there. You have the other team commanded by Commando, and I think there's another group too in there. How can these groups leave Kugwe to go through the pain they are going through? That
question we need to ask Chairman Jackson.
I hope that Chairman Jackson is watching and can call in to this show, or any person with authority in the Mogamo is watching and listening and can call in to this show and give Ambazonians a little updates as to why these rooks, losers we are talking about, they are not. I don't think they are up to a dozen of them causing this havoc. But you have the Marines, you have the other teams all over the place, and they can't do anything.
Chris, I want to say that those guys left Krugwe, they didn't go very far. Because from Krugwe to Efa, it's an easy road. I hear that these criminals are blocking the people from Krugwe from passing through Efa to go to Bamenda. Meaning that they have encircled Krugwe, which means that our forces, if they don't get in there, Krugwe is finished. They are planning to come and burn down the village of Krugwe. They are planning to kill everybody in Krugwe. And I think that this is the time for the Momo County to take very serious measures and save Krugwe from this whole mess.
Well, I really hope they do. I really hope they do, because it is becoming just too much for those people to bear. Now, I want you to take a look at this image that I want to put on my screen. This is coming from Bamenda. This is coming from Bamenda. The image you find there of motorcycles, these were motorcycles confiscated in Bamenda, precisely from Okada riders in Tarikon, all the way up to Bafut by French Cameroon soldiers. By French Cameroon soldiers. You will not see this footage anywhere. This was sent to us, only to ABC. You will not see this happening anywhere. So, the campaign, ladies and gentlemen, the campaign, Barrister John, to get rid of indigenous bikers, motorbikers in the city of Bamenda continues. We are told that these ones that you see are coming from upstation, public security upstation Bamenda. Now, these are the only ones, these are the ones at that location only. The other locations, we do not know how many they have there. But this is the intimidation that is going on in Bamenda, where they are systematically trying to get rid of indigenous motorbike riders in Bamenda. What are your thoughts about this?
Yes, Chris, what I want to know is what happened in Bamenda today, the ghost town today. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, we were going to come to that, but what you are seeing is part of the plan to finally end ghost towns in Bamenda. But go ahead, please.
It will not work. It will not work. I think that our restoration forces are up to the task. They have already given a warning, all the way from Gokutunja down to Mesam, right from Wum to through Bafut to Bamenda. They are going to be very serious on maintaining our ghost towns. These motorcycles that you see were seized from our people, our indigenous riders, and they were supposed to have returned some. And the other day they put out a footage saying that on the 1st of May, there were bike riders in Bamenda protesting ghost towns, which was a lie. The bike riders were protesting against the seizure of their bikes. And Chris, I want to say that this morning I'm getting information that Francophones are the ones trying to ride bike in Bamenda, and they are going to meet fire for fire with our restoration forces. That is what I'm hearing.
That is a fact. That is a fact. We got some footages from some of our detractors coming from Bamenda. A few people gathered around the main market. I think they said, was it main market or food market in Bamenda, brought there by the unelected mayor, colonial mayor of Bamenda 2. That is one guy who is trying to do what Ekema Patrick left undone. And of course, if he thinks that he would go free, I would like to remind him, Ekema never had it free. Ekema didn't go free. His own day came and he left. I am passing this warning to this Bamenda, unelected mayor for Bamenda 2, that just as Ekema saw his day, if he should just continue in what he is doing, he will definitely see his own day, But this is what he did today, trying to end ghost towns in Bamenda. They gathered all these Bameneki bike riders and traders to gather around the market in Bamenda, trying to get them to, trying to send the impression that ghost towns, Monday contra Sundays, they are dead in Bamenda. But then, images came in from different parts of the city of Bamenda, from Nkwen to Bale Park, and everywhere was dead. Everywhere was grounded. Not even a fowl could be seen on any street apart from where they were gathered in this market. How long do you think they can do this? They can pretend that they are getting life back into Bamenda.
Chris, you know I'm from Mancon, and which is where that idiot who claims he's a mayor of Bamenda 2, an unelected mayor of Bamenda 2, and I know him personally. He will end up like Ekema. I can promise him that. But having said that, Chris, there's nobody who can stop ghost towns in Bamenda. Not even that the enabler called so-called elected unelected mayor, who happened to come a few about 1 or 2 kilometers from my own quarter in Mancon. He's a Mancon man, and I know him. I may not know the exact name, but I know their compound. And I'm telling you that he's one of the most, he's a criminal. And listen, Chris, let him continue. The so-called unelected mayor of Bamenda has gone underground. And now he of Bamenda 2, he thinks that he can do something. He will end up like Ekema. I can assure him that. But they cannot stop ghost towns in Bamenda.
Now, let me say this about all those unelected mayors in all of Ambazonia. If you are seated there, do not think that you are seated there because we appreciate you. We don't appreciate you. We don't want you. You are always seated there until the day that we come after you. So what we are saying to you is you got to leave and hand over that seed where you are seated on, to the indigenous people of your town, of your village, of the city that you preside over. If you were never elected by Ambazonians, you should not be where you are. You are essentially usurping yourself in that power. But so how long can they do this?
Chris, before I answer you, I want to say that he cannot have access to the Bamenda 2 council office because the restoration forces in Mancon, they call the Mancon warriors, have blocked all entrance into that council building. It's right inside the village, and getting there from the center town, it's about 3 or 4 kilometers. Let me tell you, Chris, that idiot will not go very far. He has no office to go to. He's only going around with a lot of talks, trying to intimidate people. But you know, Bamenda is very slippery in the dry season.
Right.
That's all I can say.
All right. Tell me, Barrister John, there was this excitement yesterday coming out. No, before we get there, let's not get to tomorrow, to yesterday yet. I have another, I should say, an exclusive video that I want to show you, and I want to show Ambazonians. Now, ladies and gentlemen, park fine, park very well. This video I want to show you came out of Bafut. Again,
Good.
This video came out of Bafut last Friday. Now, take a look. What you are seeing, ladies and gentlemen, is a footage. It's a footage that came out of Bafut last Saturday. What you find here, you see a lot of political Cameroon terrorists having a military jet transporting their deads, transporting their dead body. Look at that truck. Look at that truck, ladies and gentlemen. They are filled with dead. A lot of political Cameroon army. Now, you will not find this image anywhere other than on ABC. But this is what happened in Bafut last Friday. This is what happened in Bafut last Friday. Again, you will not see this anywhere. You will not find this everywhere. We got this footage this morning from somebody on the ground. You find in that footage La République du Cameroon, agents transporting the dead. Look at that. Transporting their deaths from out of Bafut on Friday, last Friday. Barrister John, they are trying and doing everything to let Ambazonians, especially Ground Zero, believe that we are losing the war. What you see there is that's supposed to be a professional army. It does not entail losing the war.
Chris, I am very happy to see that footage, because Mimi before had made some allusion to that. We have not lost one restoration force in Bafut. Let's make that clear.
You are very correct.
But what we have lost is our civilians. They have killed about 6 or 7 of our civilians. You know, one that they cut off the head and
Right.
and hung it. And they have admitted, listen, Chris, the Minister of Armed Forces issued a statement arresting the captain who gave the order for that young man to be killed and the head cut, and he was disarmed and arrested and taken to Yaoundé. I'm talking about what the minister wrote in French and in English, and he has given a message of condolence to the people of Bafut. That is another admission of crimes against humanity.
Absolutely.
No, that's another admission. But let me tell you, the Bafut 7 Qatar have done an excellent job. Because before, it is as a result of this killing that they got angry and got on the civilians. They could not get any of our restoration forces, by no means.
Right. And I like Ambazonians to know all our forces in Bafut are intact. Our forces in Bafut are intact. Now, I call these guys La République du Cameroon Army Boy Scouts.
Yes.
Boy Scouts, because they have been fighting on train and untrained, tattered army, gathered together without any form of training for 4 years, Barrister John. 4 years. 4 years. They have been fighting an untrained army, and they cannot defeat them. What a shame. If they think that we are losing, let them look at the videos. Let them look at the pictures that we see here. Barrister John, please.
Yes, sir. Before I continue, I want you to know that the most notorious criminal, who was calling himself General Alaji, you know, you made mention of that man.
Exactly, I did. Yes.
He has been killed by La République. La République killed him too.
No, they did not kill him. They did not kill him. Alaji is alive.
Oh, he is?
He's alive.
Oh, the The information I got is that they shot him on the legs and finally killed him. I don't know if he's alive.
Alhaji is alive. I hope that he learns a lesson and repents and fight for Ambazonia and not fight against Ambazonians and not abduct Ambazonians and not take ransoms from Ambazonians and not do anything that stands on the way of this revolution. The same thing goes to the guy in Indian called Ikeku or Keku, somebody like that. There are some of them who are notorious for going against our own people, fighting our own people, our own communities, and not La République du Cameroon. I'm talking about Alhaji. Yes, I have mentioned his name here before, and I will still do it unless they change, because we will not for a moment tolerate anybody out there trying to inflict any more pain than the people can accept out there.
You just dampened my spirit by saying that he has not been killed. I was happy when I read that he has been killed. But if you say he's alive, that dampens my spirit. To answer your question about La République forces, let me tell you, Chris, the forces are fighting with very low morale. They don't have the type of money that they had from the beginning.
Right.
The money is drying up, and most of them who are fighting are people who are from the same tribe, the Bulu tribe. All the others have deserted. A lot of our people who are in the army have deserted, except the blacklegs. Of course, you always have blacklegs.
Absolutely.
But let me tell you, the army is the worst army on earth. It is Mr. Biya's militia. You cannot call it an army, because if it was a Republican army, they will not be fighting us the way they are doing.
Absolutely. Now, let's get to the last point, Barrister John, before I bring in the president, who has been waiting in the background. You find on your screen, Swiss donate billions to La République du Cameroon. And you can imagine there are so many interpretations out there as to what that means. What are the implications? Some out there, of course, our detractors, those who have always thought that the Swiss deal or the Swiss mediation is fake, they will say, look at how much money the Swiss in that matter are throwing at La République du Cameroon. The Swiss deal is dead. It did not exist from the beginning. That's what they will say. That's what they will say. You are somebody who, as a legal mind, who understands international relations. What does this donation mean to you, sir?
I am at loss as to what the Swiss have done. But you know, the Swiss are used to giving humanitarian aid around the world. I cannot claim that this money is meant for La République du Cameroon. I think it's meant for humanitarian help to help fight the coronavirus. I don't think that the Swiss will now, knowing what they know about La République du Cameroon and Paul Biya is no longer living. I don't think the Swiss will throw their money in a failed state like La République du Cameroon. Having said that, it has nothing, I will repeat, it has nothing to do with the Swiss-led mediation. The Swiss-led mediation is not controlled only by the Swiss. It's controlled by the United States of America, the European Union, the Canadians, the Germans, who are the leaders in the European Union, and to a lesser extent, the British government. And you will not believe this, the AU is also supporting the Swiss initiative. Therefore, it's an international negotiation to end this war between the Federal Republic of Amazonia, so Southern Cameroon, and La République du Cameroon. And whether the Swiss give what to La République du Cameroon, it should not be seen to affect the Swiss negotiations the Swiss-led negotiations and their ability to mediate. They are only mediating. They are not part of the problem. And if they were alone, Chris,
yes,
I will add that we withdraw. But they are supported by the world, by the big boys of the world.
Absolutely.
So I will not cast aspersions on the Swiss-led mediation. It's intact.
And of course, from my own perspective, I would think mediation or no mediation, the Swiss have had a relationship, a diplomatic relationship with French Cameroon for a long time. They will continue to do what diplomatic relations do to their partners. So I do not think because, they are in the middle trying to mediate between French Cameroon and Ambazonia that they will no longer support French Cameroon as they have done over the years.
Exactly.
All right. Again, in a few minutes, I'll bring in the president to join.
But why don't we have a small word on what happened yesterday, Chris?
I'm coming to that to you. And in fact, Barrister John, I was told that your own donation was fake. Tell us about that. That was a fake donation?
I just sent it to you. I just wanted you were one of the enablers, one of the detractors. I said, Chris, if you don't mind, let me read it to you.
Okay.
I am in a Sarko's scamming Zoom meeting. They've practically raised $0. Prue Johnson made a fake contribution. The most comic thing is that they are announcing donations from so-called LGAs. Now, how can I donate my money to me? 600 in attendance, 400 of us came in for fun. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine what a detractor can write? I am not surprised with this. He was watching, particularly some of us, so that my picture is there, Chris.
Oh.
Yes, he has even put my picture.
Okay.
I want to announce to him.
To set the record straight. The last count in that Zoom meeting was 686 people. 686 people. And
yes.
The total raise, as the figures that we have all seen, turned out to be about $311,000 and some change.
You are wrong, Chris. You are wrong. This morning is up to 315,000.
Okay.
I just spoke with Nijo.
There you go.
I just spoke with Nijo, and this morning I have just sent in my first $200, and I'm going to try every month until I get my 1,000. I am an Ambazonian. I have been drafted, and I'm from Bamenda too. Let this enabler know that I have paid my own through Zelle from Bank of America. Let him go to hell.
All right. Barrister John, thanks for showing up. Please stay put. I will bring you back at the end of this conversation with the president. The president is coming up next. So please, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned.
You need a financial instrument that provides a hedge against inflation, 100% guarantees that you will not lose your money, has tax-free growth and distribution, the ability to take an interest-free loan, avoids probate, provides creditor protection, guarantees your family that your income will be replaced should you die, helps you protect yourself financially against chronic, critical, and terminal illness, and of course allows you to take money anytime for any reason at any age without a tax penalty. You need only as little as $50 to invest per month. Contact Irene Fombo, tel 513-5014-177 or send an email to irenenpmsn@gmail.com.
Are you tired of going from dealership to dealership looking for that used car that perfectly fits both your lifestyle and your budget? Are you bored with the same old tactics, the same old styles, and the same old disappointments when you don't find exactly what you want? Are you frustrated because of bad credit or tired of being rejected of in-house financing? Are you tired of going from garage to garage for a car? How about that filthy old car that you used to drive? Are you done? Welcome to the new experience. Barrico Auto Sales has sold and financed cars to over 50,000 people across the country. Our exclusive in-house financing model allows us to provide flexible options for all. Enjoy low rates, free pickup, and award-winning customer service. Reserve today. Barrico Auto helps make car renting easy and seamless for all of our customers. Our financing options allow you to shop our vehicle inventory for the exact used car, truck, or van that best fits your needs. Car selection and customer satisfaction are of great importance to us. We provide the best mechanical repairs, and our services take just minutes. Detail your car with us and get out of that filthy old smell and into something sweet. We will even do your oil change at the lowest rate. And please do not forget that with Barrico Auto Sale, you own and drive your car before you even have to pay us. So come on down and visit us and drive away with your new car.
Barrico Autos, own and drive before you pay. 240-486-4664. www.barricoautos.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You will all recall that yesterday was like the beginning of this Amazonian revolution. Amazonians in their numbers showed up, and a ground zero event that we called Amber War Drive. Amber War Drive. And one thing they did, they demonstrated to Amazonians, not Amazonians, they demonstrated to Ground Zero that they are in for this war till the end. They demonstrated that whatever it takes is going to take to win this war. They are all in for it. They demonstrated that they trust the leadership of this interim government to prosecute this war to the end. They came out from Ndu, from Nkambe, from Santa, from Mancon, from the BLM. You can name the rest. All of Amazonia, in their counties, from their local governments, they came out yesterday, responded to the president's call for a war draft. And they came out, everybody with $1,000, some with $500. Some counties were giving over $30,000. And by the end of the day, we had come to a total amount of, as you just heard from Barrister John, over $315,000. Over $315,000. That's about over 150 million CFA francs. Ladies and gentlemen, if somebody, especially those of you watching at me from Ground Zero, if somebody told you that the momentum is gone, tell that person it's a fat lie. The momentum is there. It is being resurrected as per what you all encountered yesterday. Thank God ABC was there to cover it live for the whole day. In fact, I saw 1,100 people glued on ABC to see what was going on till the end of it. Unfortunately, for those of you watching by way of Facebook, at a certain point, Facebook had to cut us off because they actually did a good job though, because Facebook would only allow you to stream for 3 hours maximum a day. But they kept it on for almost the entire day until around, I think, about 5 p.m. yesterday that they shut us down. But Ground Zero was watching everything by way of satellite. So that was a feat. That was a feat and such a reassurance to the Amazonian people and to the people that lead this interim government that Amazonia is behind us. Amazonia is behind you. But having said this, I want to say this. This must not be another my trip to Buea. I want to believe that the president will put men in the counties and in the LGAs who will effectively and efficiently manage this fund. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is important so you know that money was not donated to the interim government. That money was going to the counties and to the LGAs. They have the responsibility to manage those funds and give accounts to the central government, how they use it and where they use it. And I just want to believe that the president as the chief executive, the commander-in-chief, the leader of the revolution will sit on top of this and make sure that at the end of the day, we are going to see tangible things done with the funds raised yesterday. Again, I am joined by the president himself, Dr. Samuel Ekomesago, President, Federal Republic of Amazonia. Mr. President, it's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you, Secretary. Thank you for me on.
Thank you. Listen, I am really thinking, and seriously so, that what you had yesterday, it was a hurricane. It was a hurricane because did you expect this going into that meeting yesterday?
I believe in the indomitable spirit of our people. And I always know that Amazonians in the spirit of revolution are willing at any time to prove the world that they are wrong. That's why we're in this. Prove our detractors that they are wrong and they're on the wrong side. To prove La Republique that they have believed a lie and they are wrong. So when the battles get tough, I believe that is the best time you get. That's when you get from Amazonia, because the Amazonian spirit is to dominate, to prevail against falsehood, to prevail against this falsehood that has buried us for 58 years. And the whole world is saying no to us. And the Amazonian spirit say yes. So I believe that as soon as it became tough, as soon as all these dictators rose like a mountain, like it's against us, and as soon as I saw that La Republique was even preemptively celebrating some victory, I knew that the lion in Amazonia will rise at this time. And that's why I was stubborn, even in the cabinet, in all our meetings. I knew something. There is a lion in us that will rise up at this time. So I was very confident. And then I want to thank the people of Amazonia for just doing the right thing, for sending the right message at the right time.
And right, you are correct. Talking about stubbornness, I think there was a kind of a unanimous opinion in cabinet that this thing be postponed, but you kind of got stuck to the position that it should go on. What did you see that others were not seeing?
Exactly what I just said. We are in this revolution because we have refused the chorus says that we are not a people, we are not a nation, we are just a minority in somebody's country, we can do nothing. They said when we shall go back. They said we are 2 cubes of sugar that has melted, and they said all kinds of things. What shall we do? What will you do? That's what we are against. It is from here that we stood tall and said, no, enough is enough. And so when you have that kind of understanding of our spirit, you know that when the tough gets tougher, then the best comes out. And I want to believe that. Tell Ambazonians that forget about what they have told you. If there's any time that Ambazonians are determined to take their country back, it is now. It is because no more, the revolution has left from our heads to our hearts, and now it resides in our spirit. So nobody can kill it, because nobody can kill the spirit. So it's now or never. So I kept believing in Ambazonia. I kept believing in the spirit of Ambazonia. I kept believing in the people of Ambazonia, that when the enemy says we are going down, that is when the spirit says we are going up. So I kept believing Ambazonia will prove, they have proved La Republic wrong. We have proved the international community wrong. We will prove our detractors wrong. So I'm very desperate. I was very desperate to get this evidence out there to the whole world that we have come into this to win and not to surrender.
Now, talking about detractors, as you mentioned, I understand that we had, at the last count, 686 people in the Zoom room. But there were also so many others, detractors, who came in and they were kicked out quite in their numbers. I understand that the total count would have been over 700 had they been allowed in. But these are the same detractors that have said, Sako has done this, Sako has done that, Sako ate my trip to Boya, Sako should be killed, Sako should step down in 10 days. And you have not as much as said a word in response. In fact, right now, I understand there is one FBI campaign that is making the rounds, hoping to go and get Sako and at least get him out of the interim government. I'd like you to make a little response to all these detractors, at least for now, because victory is on your side, Mr. President.
You know, what can I say? A people without leadership are vulnerable. They are vulnerable. They are confused. They are directionless. But a leader without a people is a dictator. I believe in this Ambazonia, the one we want to have is one that a leader listens to the people. He can tap into the spirit of the people. And so he can lead them. But the offshoot of the kind of activism, the kind of the actions are from the offshoot of a lack of or bad examples that we have in our revolution. People who want to lead without the people. People who say the people don't matter because they know everything. There is a temptation in leadership because, first of all, you know something. You know, everybody knows something. We go to school to learn something. And the greatest obstacle to learning something is what you have already learned. And so sometimes you don't listen. You don't listen because you think you know everything. And when you take that into leadership, you want to be telling the people what you should be listening from them. You want to tell the people, telling them everything, telling them what Ambazonia must be, who should govern Ambazonia, what is right, what is wrong, and you don't care what the people say. And this is what has birthed this kind of activism at the revolution, where people believe that what they say is right and the people don't matter. They think is right and what they want is right. What the people want does not matter, because after all, the people are there to follow the leadership, and it doesn't matter what they think, and that's wrong. You know, when I discover that I am with the people, I am in a secure place. When I think that I have tapped into the spirit of the people and I understand what people want, I am comfortable. That's the most comfortable place to be. And I know that my detractors will meet me there. My detractors will go around the world and meet me there. Because there is no revolution without the people. There is no revolution without the people. So if I've tapped into the spirit of the people and I know where we stand at this time, I stay with the people. I know you will go round and round and round. You will come back to the people. If you don't come back to the people, you will stay with the enemy, and the difference will be clear. So I also know, as I told us yesterday, that my greatest retaliation to my detractors and my enemies is success. I believe that that's the best slap you can give to your enemy. Succeed. Succeed. Because the desire of your detractors is to stop you from making progress. So what will pain him most is when you make progress and you show you have to. That person can die. I believe that if care is not taken, some people can have hypertension right now because of what they saw.
Yeah, you know, I have always said, never you pray that your enemies should die. Rather, you should pray that God so prospers you, that God so prospers you, that those same enemies come back and kneel before you to say, sir, I was wrong, I am sorry, forgive me. And I think we are looking at some of those moments when some of those detractors and enablers and so-called peace crusaders will begin to come back and say, we were wrong. What do you think about that?
Yes, that is always my best moment after the pain, after all the pain. I've had it many times in my life. That's my best moment, when the mouth that tried to destroy me, the mouth that tried to dissuade people from me, that called me all kinds of names, turns around and says, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm sorry, I think you were right. They say it in many ways. They come back. Some don't have the courage to come back. You can their body language. You can see it from the way they talk. That's my best moment. That's the best reward you get as it is. So for me, I look forward, and not from now, that many of them will understand that they have chosen the wrong side of history. They have taken the wrong side of the conflict, of this conflict, but too soon, that they let people be, and that we finally got to Buea. That would be my best day. You know, a revolution is started by many people. It's just like a race. I was very young. We're going to Mount Fako race. We're seeing our people, our elder ones run the race. But I discovered that from the beginning at the stadium, there were hundreds upon hundreds. But when it was time, around 4 hours plus, and the winners were coming, I saw them trickling down one after another. They were coming, just a few, and some did not even make it up to the summit. They disappeared in the forest or the hot one or hot two, and went back to their houses. So this is started by many, it's finished by a few. And that's what it is with this revolution. I can tell you that we should go here. Not with everyone that led this revolution, but we shall surely go here. Because it takes few pillars to build, to construct this building. And those are the pillars that will last. A pillar is not a pillar if it will not last till the end. So I am very, very grateful to the people of Amazonia. This is a victory for Amazonia. This is a message to 4 categories of people. It's a message to our detractors. There is a message to the international community. It is a great message to La République du Cameroon that was already celebrating that we have finished. They are just rounding up. You heard the French ambassador talk that nonsense. That everything is quiet.
Right.
There are some things I will not say right here, right now. It is not convenient. But I want to tell you that this fight has just gone because we are just going to get to the next level. There are things I'm going to do, we are going to do as a government. I don't need to say that here. But see that this momentum you saw is going to be converted wholly into the mission that will take us to Buea. That is what I see in my vision. And that is what Amazonians have said. And to Buea, we will go.
And when we talk about this money that was raised, our detractors, we equate it to another My Trip to Buea. What would you have to say to them?
What do they call My Trip to Buea? These are 2 different formula that we used. The number 1 formula, before My Trip to Buea, we did not have a community army. We had individual contractors. Tiger here, goes here, SCDF here, this other one here. Individual initiatives, CEOs that had their small groups spontaneously trying to respond to the massacres. And so I came around, I discovered that no, we cannot be the government and don't have some kind of coordinated response to this ongoing genocide and massacre. But who do we use? I decided that let me bring these private contractors or private initiatives into one group, one place, so that some modicum of control over the actions that are going on the ground, so that there will be some form of coordination. That is how ASC was created. That's how ASC was. It was a core independent groups that were doing their thing. Leadership had their structure, had their everything. So in that situation, we launched My Trip to Buea as a means of raising funds to have a response to the ongoing massacre. So what would you have done differently? The only people you have are people that are independent, that they are at least have some kind of response to the massacre that's going on, committed by the beasts and the gendarmes from Dadi to Manu to all over the place. So what do? Having brought them together, most of the money was given to them to carry on with the exercise of responding to the killers of our people. Now, you couldn't bypass any of this people time. If we are saying today because we have moved on, we have evolved. Because by then we had none of this. You were going to meet a contractor who says that I own the tiger and I have my tigers. They are able to help the people of Kwakwa and the people of the other village not to be killed by La République. We raise money. What will you do with the money? What will you do with the money you raise? You put it in the hands of those people, the ASC, to make sure that they give you what they can give. So at that point, we had no control over the boys. We had control over the money. We had no control over the machinery. We had control over the money. And what will you have done differently? We have to use what we have until we can get our own. I mean, we have to borrow what we don't have until we have our own that we can take care of. That's what it is. In this particular situation right now, with the Amber War Draft, it is not. We are not dealing with individual groups, contractors. These are defense groups that have been able to transform into a community-based which is answerable to the government. And now the people who are in charge there, they have control. They know who is who. They are not fooled by anybody who says, give me money, I have this, and I will give this, and any control because you are not part of his organization. That is how we have evolved from a private militia to now a community-based resistance. And so we have a better chance for us to put the money to use and see it work, and even have the checks and balances which are very, very possible within the decentralized structure to know that this money is put into effective use. We did not have that chance when we're dealing with private contractors. We had no choice. We had no choice. Another choice using somebody else to stop the bleeding. We had to use those that were available to stop the bleeding. We had to use them that were available to stop the bleeding. But they did what they did, and they did not do what they were supposed to do effectively. That's one part of it. Number two, my trip to Buea was a general fundraiser that actually ran the government. It wasn't just the aid. We spent about close to one quarter of the money we raised trying to help for the legal bills from Nigeria to Cameroon to get our leaders released. I know some people have turned around, if some of those who were even beneficiaries turned around to say you were not supposed to do that. I wish we can wind the clock and go back there. And you hear me come to the I don't call those people who have raised money just to do this, and let them stay there, wherever they are, God will take care. What would some of these people have said? They would have said, I am wicked. They would have said, I am heartless. But I did not do that. At least I took that decision moment. I said, it is good for us to know where our leaders are. It is good for us to know they are even alive. It is good for us to have a habeas corpus in Nigeria, another one in Cameroon. It's good for us to fly lawyers from all over the place to see if we can know where they are, if we can get them out. We did that. A good decision. Take yourself back to that position and tell me if you would have done it differently. We needed a television. We had a television that, at least at that very low moment, it was supposed to keep the message, the revolutionary message, going on ground zero. Should we have said no television now because we have just raised money? We have to make sure that we prosecute this struggle. Part of the struggle is information. And I made a choice because there was no money flowing into the government from other sources. The moment we launched my trip to Buea, that was the main fund that ran the government. We paid more than 100,000 to run the communication wing, which was the other television, BBC. Was that the wrong decision? Take yourself back to that position and tell me if it was a bad decision. But those are the things we did. Put that together. It's about half of the money, close to half of the money that was my trip to Buea. That we still use these private contractors to do something. Then transit revolution from a private militia structure to a community structure. We can now say we are is now fully answerable to us and under our supervision. So what has happened is this revolution is also an evolution.
Wonderful. That's quite an elaborate answer there, and I want to believe that Ground Zero is listening to you do some of these explanations, because we've not spoken about this for quite a while. I was part of my trip to Buea. I mean, as far as raising and managing the funds was concerned. And it is sometimes very, very frustrating when you see intelligent and smart people who ought to know how those funds were used. Yes, there were some was misused. As you just said, we had contractors running for an army, and they take money, put it in their pockets, and the boys on Ground Zero never saw the money. We helped our leaders who were abducted at the time in Nigeria. We paid over 100,000 in bills to Nigeria alone. And talk less when they got to Yaoundé. They were refugees, humanitarian situation in Nigeria. Money went to those groups, the refugees in Nigeria, until we realized that if we kept sending all the money to Nigeria, we're not going to do anything on ground zero. And then the self-defense aspect came in. And of course, we will not forget also the DOD that had a hole, essentially, in the pockets of this interim government. Money was going to them. Nobody knew what they were doing with the money. In fact, individuals were using that money for their own selfish purposes. And so, ladies and gentlemen, when you ask about my trip to Buea, it is not because the answers are not there. The audit has been done. Mr. President, let me also add this, because some caller asked about my trip to Buea yesterday. I was a little offended that you even attempt answering that question, because you will never answer that question enough, especially to people who want to see you fail.
Yes, I have discovered that there are two categories of people who ask questions. You have those who are they just want to disrupt, and those who want to reason with you. They have a problem of reason, and so they want to know. With those ones, answering questions will help. But with those people whose problem is not reason, the problem is in they have chosen a camp, they have chosen a particular ideology, they have been indoctrinated, they have a side. They are not willing to engage the facts. They are not willing to listen. So it's a waste of time to take your time off the issues that you want to do. Because so sometimes, my weakness is that sometimes why I answer some people is that I cut you a slack. I think that probably you're one of those who really want an answer, who really want to reason with me on the facts. So I try to answer. But sometimes it is clear that these people have an interest. They came there to promote that interest. Came there to promote that interest and not to reason with the facts. They don't have. They have no pay no attention, because, as I said yesterday, you even asking me that I should tell you about the state of finances, how they were used. Even if I told you, is that acceptable? It's not acceptable.
Of course not.
Because it is what the investigators say that is acceptable in court. It's not what I say about the matter. Even the court will not take mine for the answer. If there's an investigator, the investigator will his report to the court, and now that's it. That they question me on that. You're not questioning me based on the facts that have been presented by the expert that have looked into the matter. You want me, that you are accusing, to be the one to tell you there was no audit. Then you can ask, what do you say? How can you get the audit and ask me to tell you? So my word, and which one is weightier? And you go and tell me, no, one journalist said something, one so-called journalist said something, and he said something, he gave an opinion. And so, can you answer me? There is an audit before you, an audit report, and then there is an opinion by somebody who doesn't even know how to put figures together, and who doesn't understand and cannot explain and situate one single expenditure, how it was incurred, who authorized it, who carried out the expenditure, the purpose was. He doesn't have any of that. He said, because he gave me some screenshots. Can you substantiate? No. If you need any substantiation, can you just go to the audit? Can you ask those who refuse to go to the audit to go there? Can you have the courtesy of contacting the auditor that represented your county if what his opinion is about that piece of trash? You don't ask the person that you are accusing to defend himself. In a case that has been investigated and closed, go and ask the investigators or probably at court.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, let's talk about these figures a little bit. $315,000, that is a little over 150,000, 150 million CFA francs. That is not a lot of money. We all know that. You know that. That is not a lot of money. Even a million is not a lot of money. But on ground zero, you can start imagining there are going to be lots of expectations from ground zero. Not all of this money came in cash. Do we know how much cash came out of this and what came in as pledges? And what can you tell ground zero to expect from these funds? Because again, the counties and the LGAs, they have possession of this money, or we have possession of this money. What do you expect ground zero to see going forward from these funds, from their LGAs, their counties who are managing this money?
The number one thing I want to tell, first of all the tiers of government, the counties and the local governments and the National Treasury, is that I will be hands-on in this project to make sure that all the T's are cut and all the I's are dotted, to make sure that everybody does his job, from the Controller General to the treasuries of all the counties and local governments and the National Treasury, to the National Self-Defense Council and the County Self-Defense Council. I will be hands-on. I will be everywhere there to make sure that everything is done according to our rules in the House. I'll make sure that the Ethics Committee is at work to make sure that every excess or every mistake is checked and corrected as quick as possible. I would rather want some people in the House to hate me than for Ambazonians to ask me, what did you do? So here is the thing. I want this message to go to our fighters, to tell you that this assurance is not coming from me, it's coming from the people of Ambazonia. This is what they have said. This is what they told you yesterday. If it's a matter of resources, don't sell out to the devil. Don't listen to some detractors and enemy contractors and the sellouts and those who have given up and they are now preaching federation and single. Is it single status? What is it? Special status.
Special status.
Yes. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them that say you will not win this war because you don't have anything. Your government has nothing. People are not supporting it. They will kill all of you. Don't give up. The people have asked me to tell you that each problem, don't give up. So that's my message to the people. Unless you just decided to be on the wrong side and destroy your own destiny and the destiny of your people. But if it has to do with resources, the message from the people of Ambazonia, from the diaspora to ground zero, is to tell you that if it's a matter of resources, don't give up. You don't need to go and kidnap people. You don't need to do rough work, as they call it in Amba terms. You don't need to go and kill people and threaten people, kidnap for ransom. The people have said that they will stand with you. If you are associated with your county and with your local government, you will have what you need for us to prosecute this struggle legally until we get to Buea. So my assurance to La Republique, the assurance I'm giving them is that everything that we have done to get to where we are now, more than ever before, we have the capability of doubling down on it. If you did not win us yesterday, you are not going to win us today. Neither will you win us tomorrow. I want to assure you my drive. I want to be able to raise more than Ambazonians, please. I want you to help me to send a stronger message to the international community and to Ambazonia and whoever is behind La Republic, that we should be able to raise for our county and local government initiatives at least $1 million. I will be coming to your counties, I will be coming to your countries, and if that's what I will do every 24 hours, I will do. The other team, that is the strategic team, should get ready for work. Now is not the time for us to think about what do we need to do this. You should better put yourself together. Let's talk about how to do it. Because as for the means, Ambazonians have told me that I should come to them. They will give us what we need. So I will be going around all the countries virtually. You will mobilize everyone who wants to get to where. I will be there. Let the people be drafted one by one. That's the motto of this program, is one by one. We want to make sure that we are all counted. We are drafted financially and make sure we put at the disposal of those that will driving this boat, our restoration forces, and the other the whole machinery, I call it the infrastructure, to put at their disposal the means to pilot us our destination. Thank you.
Wonderful. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, there were only 687 people attending that meeting of yesterday, and plus the 1,100 watching by way of ABC. There are at the least 3 million Ambazonians out here in the diaspora. Every county and every local government is waiting for your own draft. You don't have to call here to draft, but if you have to, that is okay. But we are hoping that you will get to your local government to do that draft. I understand that different local governments are holding their own drafts to draft in their people to bring in the money to prosecute this war. So please, I want to call upon every one of you out there. Be encouraged, be motivated with what you saw yesterday. Let us together come together to make sure that these boys on the ground, as the president has said, lack nothing. They don't have to go abducting and taking ransoms. I had a call just a few hours ago, and somebody said to me, they took over my farm and they took over my dad, and they're asking for 5 million. Of course, I know for sure, these are not the restoration forces, Ambazonia restoration forces that we all know. These are the losers and the rook ones who are doing this. But we have to empower the good ones to root out these losers and rooks from among them. They cannot continue to destroy the sacrifice and the good work that the good ones are doing out there. And the way we do that, the way we do so, is by empowering them, putting into their hands the equipment they need. Sweeping Kugwe and Guzang and Batebo as a whole from all these other losers. Mr. President, you heard me talk about Kugwe, Guzang, and so on. I don't know if you have anything to say about that community.
Yes, I will. I have not been briefed. I have not been updated. Earlier today, I spoke to the Momo County commander. I have not spoken with the chairman yet, but I got some which I will not give here. I will rather, within this program, if time permits, you should call Chairman Jackson, who he tried to reach me while I was preparing for this, and I couldn't use the phone. He said in that text message that you should call him into the program. He has some updates for you. Probably I would have received the updates. Yes, so you can call him to this program. He will tell you a little more, because my Joint Chief of Staff has not yet briefed me. I needed to have up to the moment briefing before I answered any questions concerning that. But we are working on it. We are responding to that situation.
All right, wonderful. We are joined once more by Barrister John Frew, who was in the meeting yesterday. Barrister John, you've been listening to me and the President. Is there something you want to say to the President or add to what he has said out there?
Thank you, Chris. I just want to say that even though I have a degree in political science, first degree in political science, I learned some political lessons from Mr. President. The only way to respond to your detractors is when you succeed in what you are doing. And I thank you very much. I've learned something, and I thank you for the further explanation. But I want to add that those detractors have not asked Brado Tabayang to go to the controllers. What do you call them? Auditors, and be audited, because he is the one who dished out all that money. He has to be audited. That was the first person that was supposed to have been audited. Mr. President, I'd like to thank you for a job well done yesterday. I was so excited, and I want to promise you that I have been drafted, even though I'm living like a scavenger, but I have drafted myself in, and I'm going to do everything to finish my own 1,000. I started yesterday, and I'm going to finish. You want to know that some detractor took my picture and said I made a fake contribution.
Right.
I want to inform you that I paid my contribution, Mr. President, and I'm going to continue as long as I live. I don't know when I will get to Boya, but I am on this fight with the rest of my life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Barrister John. For a few minutes, I have Chairman Jackson on the line to give us a brief on what is going on in Batibo and in Kugwe, if possible. Mr. Chairman, good afternoon, and thanks for joining the program, sir.
Yes, thank you, Secretary Chris. Can you hear me?
I can hear you 5 on 5. So tell us what is going on in Guzang, what went on there today?
Okay. Before I get to that, there are a few clarifications that I will need to make at this point in time.
Okay.
Yes, earlier during your show with the barrister, I heard you and him mention to Momo Marines, the forces that we have in Menimo area, Momo West.
Right.
I would like to say that we have restoration forces over there. There is nothing like Momo Marines.
Oh, okay. All right. Good to hear that.
So that is something that I really want to put into record.
However, you had something. I thought there used to be something like Momo Marines in Momo. Am I right?
Yes. Those were forces that were littered around before the restoration forces were constituted.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
all right.
This time we have the restoration forces. But I would say that there might be remnants of some other little forces still around, but we have restoration forces in the Menemo local government area. And,
okay.
And then the second thing is this morning I had a briefing from the chairman of the Moamo local government about what was going on.
Yes.
Later on, the defense chair called me. So the situation is not actually happening in Kugwe as it was portrayed. These guys, they move up to Guza. But what I want to tell Ambazonians here is that
when you say, hold on a second, hold on a second. When you say the situation is not still happening in Kugwe as it was portrayed, are you saying those children are back? Are you saying these groups did not send an ultimatum to the community in Kugwe? What do you mean by it's not the same?
thank you. These are two different things we are talking at this time. The Kugwe situation remains stagnant with the threats that you mentioned about.
Okay.
But the latest skirmishes that we're talking about happened around the Guzan area.
All right.
Where so about 15 ADF boys, I was told, came to attack our bases, and our boys are about to stand their grounds and to fight them back, which is what I was told by the defense chair for Mogamo. And Momo is actually on the alert, and Momo is already working on a plan, which I don't feel comfortable to release here.
Absolutely not.
And I just want to give the assurance to everybody that Momo is going to take care of it, and our sister forces around, because I have to let you know that Amazonia Restoration Forces are well constituted and organized at this time, and they are doing everything now to come together to take care, because a threat on one is a threat on all.
All right. What about Guzang? Are there any casualties in Guzang
No.
from the incident of today?
No. Well, during my last briefing, there was no casualty.
Okay. And has the tension died down now as we speak?
No. No.
Okay. And the allegations that the French Cameroon troops withdrew after being confronted by the Ambazonian Restoration Forces, and the ADF came in to fight against the Ambazonian Restoration Forces. Is this a true allegation?
That is correct. That is correct. That is not an allegation, that's a fact.
Okay.
And it is coming clear now that the ADF forces are working in close collaboration with the Republic forces, because this has happened time and again, that anytime we have an attack from ADF, the military comes second, or if the military comes first, then ADF comes second, or sometimes it happens simultaneously. So that is what happened. Yesterday, we had a severe attack in the Mogamo local government area by the Restoration Forces. As our boys repelled them, the next thing was the ADF that was coming, because at that time they felt that we were a little bit punctured, but the boys were still standing strong.
Right.
And Momo is still going to stand strong after this.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please keep me updated with what goes on there, if possible. On a daily basis, we will bring this information to the people.
Yes. I just want to let you know that anytime when you go on the air, there's a concern, you can feel free to contact me anytime, or my defense chair, who happened to be a little bit sick today. And we just want to give this assurance to Ambazonians that the interim government and the Momo County are working hand in glove, and we're going to take care of the situation as soon as possible.
I hope that is done really as soon as possible, as you say, because the attack in Kugwe, the last attack there with the abduction of those children, I think it's getting to close to a month now, and if they are still going back to attack the people in same communities, it doesn't seem like the people are getting help. They're getting the help that they need.
Yes, Secretary, thank you for even bringing that up. You know, when you're dealing with an enemy that is a moving target, it takes a lot of planning and a lot of intelligence. So that's why you are not dealing with, you're moving to Guzang to meet a camp, or you're moving to
let's say a camp that is located in Bui, that you know where it is. So these are moving targets, and there's a lot of planning and intelligence that you need to gather to carry such operations. And God being our helper, we're going to help. We're going to do this.
All right, all right. Thanks a lot for this update, and I hope that you guys do everything to protect our people there in Guzang, in Kugwe, in Batibo, and the neighboring villages. Thanks for the call, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
All right. All right, Mr. President, I will let you go, but before I let you go, I would like to have you sit there and take a few calls, maybe 2 or 3 from ground zero. Please give me a second. Please, I am accepting calls only from ground zero, just and to the president. To the president, ground zero to the president, because they don't have him here all the time. They don't see him and have this opportunity all the time. So ladies and gentlemen, you want to ask the president a question from ground zero. The phone line is open. The phone line is open. You can go ahead and make that call, but make sure before you make your call, turn down the volume of your set. Turn down the volume of your set before you make a call. Before you make a call, and make sure you are calling from ground zero. Make sure you are calling from ground zero. Okay, let me get the first caller from ground zero. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you're calling from, please?
Yes, it's Christopher calling from ground zero.
From ground zero. Precisely what county are you calling from, sir?
I'm in Northern County.
Thank you. Thank you. How was Ghost Town observed there today?
It was perfect. It was 100 over 100, except of cases like people who might have patients taking ambulances to different clinics and hospitals, without which it was really a perfect one.
Right, but I guess they know that patients with ambulances are allowed, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Thank you. Do you have a question or a contribution to the president?
Yes, I do. But before I go on to the president, I want to thank you for the marvelous work you have been doing for us. We are so happy about.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. I can hear you. Go on.
Yes. And to our humble president, I want to, first of all, I am very impressed with the attitude in which you have put yourself like a good shepherd to shepherd the people of God. What you are doing, like you are rightly saying, you are not doing it for yourself, but you are a humble servant working for your master, Jesus Christ. And let me tell you, the fight you are fighting is justice, fighting injustice, and triumph is in the hands of justice. We want to tell you that we are happy with your work, and all the detractors who are carrying out the evil maneuvers, trying to spoil everything you are doing, some of them in prison, some of them out along with us, eating and drinking at the same time, trying to destroy everything you have been doing. I'm a victim for I'm a man of about 50 years of age, even above. But I want to tell you that in 1995, when the Foncha spoke to us in the Bamenda Municipal Stadium about the Southern Cameroon problem, I took that responsibility to support every move to make sure that when that opportunity comes, I'll be part of it. I'm thanking God today to give us a great man of Yakaniba who is really executing your job perfectly well. You were ordained for this revolution, and I want to let you know that you are untouchable. Make sure you know that our spirit is with you, the spirit of our forefathers who are fighting for this thing, who have left, like the Abemukongs and the others, the Nangas. even the funchers, their spirit will be with you. And their spirit will chain all the detractors who are alive, and even those who have gone to their grave will be chained from molesting you and the sheep that God has given you to look after. I want to assure you that you should remember that where you are sitting on a seat that God placed you. No human being and no hand of the devil will lay hands on you. Please be courage. Have the strength. Keep it on. Your blood, one drop of your blood, any insult on you will be returned to that person by the blood of Christ. And you know what that means. God will mark your work and all those who are working with a sign of the cross, like he did in the book of Ezekiel. And those people who hated evil were marked with that sign of the cross. You are one of them. You and your co-workers, all the efforts, your sleepless nights where you're having, you shall all be marked with that cross, because I've been praying for that, and I have that opportunity today to talk to you, and I'm proud of it. And I want to say it to you humbly that be rest assured that Buea, you will see it.
All right.
You are the voice of the voiceless. You are the father who feeds from nothing. The little grain of corn you have, you are sharing with all the suffering people. Don't worry, the world will come to your aid.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I wish even our elder barrister there, Mr. John Fu, please thank you. And for the chairman of Momo, I encourage him that they should carry on the vigilante plan that they have to make sure that these detractors are taken away. I foresaw about so many years, 2017, too many people that this man was going to molest us.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let me get some other callers. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the call. Mr. President, that was essentially what we call praise singing. And I think he is right. He is right to do so. You have any word for him?
I just want to tell you, it is silent voices like yours that keep me working tirelessly. Because I know every one loud voice of a detractor, there are thousands that are silent, that are just hanging on the rope, saying that let him do something and get us out of here. Those are the voices I hear. And because of voices like yours, I will not be discouraged. I will not give up. I will not be distracted. We walk with God, and one with God is the real majority. Is the stronger than all. And I know that we will get there, not by might, but by God himself. Thank you.
All right, let's get this second caller, Steve from Ground Zero. Hello, sir.
Good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Yes,
May I know where you are calling from?
I'm presiding from Bui Division.
Okay, how is Bui today?
Perfect.
How was Ghost Town in Bui?
Ghost Town as usual.
Thank
100%.
you. Thank you. Thank you. What message, contribution, question do you have for the president? 50 seconds.
Okay. Thank you, Secretary Chris. I will speak in our natural pidgin language.
You are very much free to do so, sir. Go ahead.
President, greeting to you. I'll be very happy for seeing you today, and I'll be very happy also for speak to you live. So, Mr. President, I get one question, and my question is, when will we reach to Buea? Because I have a dream. I have a dream of after 4 months from now, we will reach Buea. So, Mr. President, with give you big prayer, say now fasting, and we're there for fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I know people them they call you pastor. Any man that people where they call you pastor now people where they know they believe God now Satan them. Like I know one for call my name. All them know say all them now Satan them bed. Satan get there and we can cut that there. When they call Satan it there, Satan no way for move. So we don't already be for Buya. So I do thank you. I don't get plenty things them for talk. I want make me LDM know. Say that thing where they make them for Buy. We go finish them. We will really finish them and they go finish one by one.
All right. All right. All right. Thank you for the call. Thank
them like public. Don't come they attack them like for
all right, listen.
Them they go fight. Them.
All right, thank you.
We go finish them one by one.
Thank you. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. I will allow the president for say one word or two for you. Thank you for the call. All right, Mr. President, sir.
I know if you tell you say when, but people like when I want to get spiritual eyes, when I the all see. May I tell you something? I know if you know the time, but if you know the season. This man will know the sea. He know if you know whether, he know if you know time. So man can tell you the time. But when dry season come, he go no say dry season don't come. When rainy season come, he go no say rainy season don't come. If he tell you the season then, but he know if he tell you the time. If the ask someone say me tell you time. Me I know if he tell you the time, because now God know the time. But if he tell you say, if he tell you the season what we inside. The season what we inside, the season for you for know the season, something that already happen, something that already happen for some time. Even the temperature, the change. You did not say season don't change. The thing I want to tell you, I say, for this season, what would they now sow? To say the time no far away. Because this season, what would they sow? It is sure we say, international community, they pay attention now. For the first time for 58 years. United Nations, they pay attention now. For the first time for 58 years. United States, it don't pay the highest attention for the first time for 50 years. For the first time. The international community don't give we a platform. Say no, we can't sit down. We solve this problem. We separate peacefully for the first time in 58 years. For the first time, La Republic don't bury own dead people and so they hide the number. They don't even know again how this thing will be. Small time, sometimes salary no will be for pay. Even the people they can't fight. I want to tell you say for the first time, our own people them we carry the same on the way that they use it for kill we. I want to tell you say no country not the way we don't do their revolution. It reach for this level where they so they not get their freedom. So if you tell you say the season where they decide now the final phase. Now the final phase where as ambassadors don't tell we say they never tire. They never tire. Even with COVID where don't make them people they don't lost their job. They don't get money again for support. They don't tell we say the last energy where they get them, we'll get them. We'll move on now because we will fight. And when you see your enemy the tire they go, then you can't get that kind of energy for fight. No, you know say you will win the fight. So now all my assurance now I think you wanna say we will surely win the fight because for the time where we enemy they make we will just get power where come up from nowhere, from heaven. That this power will get and so now for finish this fight and we will finish it. The Republic will come for that table, whether they like them or not. Because you know what? Because we will never tire.
All right, Mr. President, let's take the last caller so that we can call it a day. And the last caller is joining or calling from Bafut. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah, hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. You are calling from Bafut?
I can hear you, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, go on, please.
Yeah, sir, I want to thank you all for the great job you are doing over there, and especially to Barrister John So. I want to say you are really doing a great job there. And also to this other case of General Alaji of Bafut. You know, someone can be bad and lastly changes. this said general has done a lot. All the footages you see there with the helicopters from the military corpses is being done by this general. He has been saving souls here in Bafut this time around. And I know, someone can be bad and later on changes. And this is a hero, I can say. He has fight till he has fight till the last man standing. And I believe just the Romo that we got, he was dead. It was like a trauma to us here in Bafut, but when we later found out that he was alive, we are really great and we thank God. God really saved him, because the people, it was not really easy for him to like confront thousands of military. They were so many in numbers. So the general Alhaji could still go and have the courage to face these people and unto putting them down in a great number. He dealt with them, even though he lost 4 of his guards, and it was like a trauma to him as well. Before even having some injuries from the attack, it was due to the down of his 4 guards, which led to him injured, and that was where the Romo got up that General Alhaji is dead. No, he is very fine and sounding well. And we so much thank God for preventing him for us from getting hurt from the La Republic military. Thank you, Chris, and I really appreciate what people are doing there.
Thank you for the call. And I'd like you to know, if you speak to Alhaji, let him know that we will all, including all of the interim government, stand behind him, support him, lift up his hands if he chooses to do the right thing. We want everybody who has put his life on the line for Ambazonia to do the right thing. And when you do the right thing, every Ambazonian, including all of the interim government, will stand in support of that person. That is all we want. That is all we want. We want every Ambazonian restoration force in every community to be seen as friends of the community, defenders of the community, and not people that inflict pain on the community. And when you hear me call some of those names, it is because we are very, very upset that people who should be defending our communities are instead putting pain on those communities. So please, give our greetings, and of course, on behalf of the president and all of the interim government, give our greetings to Alhaji and tell him we are behind him, okay?
Yes, sir, thank you. And sir, there is this I also want to make comment on. I can see there is SCBC live, so I would rather like to tell all Ambazonians never to follow their agenda, because if you look at their programs, they are the programs that they can kill. And look at it, just within the days after which the military raided in Bafut, they were like clamoring to come to Bafut, and the restoration forces told them never to step their legs here in Bafut, or it's going to be hell with them. So I really thank God they too, they did not hesitate to the call.
Who was clamoring to come to Bafut?
Not to follow their program.
Who did you say was clamoring to come to Bafut?
The so-called ADF were clamoring to come to Bafut and help the restoration force fight the La Republics. And the restoration forces of Bafut told them never to set their legs in the land of Bafut.
Okay. Well, thank you for that information. We have no doubt Ground Zero knows who is serving them. If we have 3 television stations serving Ambazonia, that would still be a great thing. And if other TV stations are there, that is not a bad thing. So in as far as they are serving the revolution and serving Ambazonia, that's what we want. Thank you for the call. I hope you guys stay safe on Ground Zero. Mr. President, the last word to Ambazonia before you go, sir.
Oh, Ambazonia, I just want to say thank you. We are in a team, and in a team, there are many players, and every player has his own wing. I'm here as the person you have chosen to be the captain, but the captain can do nothing without everybody playing his own part in that team. Our success depends on our collective effort. That is why we are drafting everyone. Some of us can give. We are already giving who we are, and we are giving what we have. Others are giving a portion of what they have, and you still have more to give. Don't be tired. The message is don't be tired. Even after giving your financial resources, also bring your ideas. Make sure I have directed that the website should include the contacts of all our LGA chairs, all our county chairs, all our restoration council members around the world, all our cabinet members, and all those my assistants in the presidency. The website must include all of us, our names, our contacts, so that you can contact where it is necessary and bring your ideas. We listen, and we know that the wealth of Ambazonia is with Ambazonians. We believe that don't just throw in your money there. This is the time when we need your expertise, we need yours. Get involved in your local government, get involved in the county, make sure that you are part of the management of and the ideas that move this revolution. And I believe that it was for such a time like this that this responsibility was given to us, where we have the knowledge, the people with the knowledge, the people with the substance, and the people with understanding to finish what was started by our forefathers. So I thank you, and as long as you are there, I will not get tired, because the Lord is with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I hope that you go and have some rest from the long day of yesterday, and have a good, is it lunch now? Yeah, I think it's still lunch now. Have a good lunch for yourself and your family, and wake up tomorrow morning to decide where that money goes, and let Ambazonia let Ambazonians see the money at work.
Exactly. I can assure you that Ambazonia is ready, and not only those giving, but those who want to put the money to use for the right use are also ready. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. You have a great day, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I hope it was exciting. I hope it was informative. I hope it was educative, and I want to believe that for all of you watching from Ground Zero, and of course Extension Ground One, this has been a blessing. I want to say this has been a blessing. So please, I just want to remind all Amber ABC Club members that please join the club. Go on the Facebook site abcambertv.org and join the club with your donation. And for those who have already joined, remember we're having a meeting, our second club meeting on Saturday. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Barrister John, for joining the set. Thank you all of you who called in. I want to believe that the people have been blessed once more. Good night.